Thank you. We will, in opposition of rescinding the proclamation, you will have 3 minutes. Please come forward.
Good evening. Can you hear me? Yes. Before I start, well, you can go ahead and start the clock. I would like to provide a petition and comments from change.org. I have over 745 printed of 851 signatures that I've collected. 304 of those are currently Porterville residents, but like I said, we're still collecting and they're printing, so I'd like to present those to you guys.
City manager, please.
Thank you. I would also like to take note of all the people wearing the rainbow pins in the audience because we would like to show our visibility tonight. So I'd like to begin with, I feel there's a major misconception that to be gay means that we are bad people. This is unfortunate because if you really knew how many gay people you are around in your daily life and took the time to get to know us as humans, you would learn that we're just as boring as everybody else. We are your children, family members, your neighbors, your co-workers, your barbers, your bank tellers, your local law enforcement, your local healthcare professionals, and your local print shop girl, which many of you know me in here to be. The list goes on and on. We are part of your everyday life. We face the same struggles every day, only amplified due to the discrimination and lack of understanding from our fellow residents. I feel there is a misconception that we are sexual deviants and not regular, boring, everyday people filling our hours with the same hustle and bustle as everyone else in this room. As a LGBTQ leader of this community, I'm the one who receives the phone calls from the youth right here in this very community telling me that they've been kicked out. I'm the one who's approached in the classrooms telling me that they're cutting because they're told they're bad. I'm the one who has lost a dear friend just this past year to suicide in the name of the almighty sin that is homosexuality. I'm the one spending countless hours repairing the damage of society, the damage our society inflicts, the very same damage that keeps occurring in these very chambers in countless ways. I represent a large portion of volunteers here in the South Valley that too spend countless hours repairing the damage and mending hearts of our people. So please do not tell me that I do not have a right to be honored, and at very least be acknowledged for our contributions to this community. Reasons we need the LGBTQ population to be recognized and acknowledged here in our own hometown is because of the great oppression, struggles, and homophobia we face on a daily basis. It is important because we are made to feel ashamed of who we are. It is important because we are picked on, bullied, publicly humiliated, physically and mentally assaulted, and murdered because of who we are. It is important because we are disowned by our families and kicked out of homes, and oftentimes we have nowhere else to go because of who we are. It is important we recognize the LGBTQ population in this community because we are important people too. And I'm going to have someone pick up right up.
Thank you. Please, I'm asking that we don't have that. Thank you. Go ahead.
My name is Nicole Celaya. I'm from Springville, and I am proud to be continuing Melissa's words here. It is important to keep this proclamation intact because of the weight it carries for us in this community as residents of Porterville in our own hometown. So I am up here once again as an out and proud lesbian, not only in hopes you'll halt these harmful actions immediately, but also in hopes that the people of this community who are afraid to simply be who they are, see me, all of us, standing before you today and feel a sense of hope and pride. That they know I am here to represent them today, to tell everyone here tonight that we are your family members, your co-workers, your neighbors, your teachers, your police officers. That we make an honest living, we pay our taxes, and most importantly, we vote. We deserve to be treated just as everyone else. It is important that you, as city councilmen, realize that you are setting forth a precedent of intolerance and disdain for the LGBTQ people of our community by your actions. Your actions are telling the residents of this great city that it is okay to treat us this way. As public figures, we look to you to make wise and sound judgment calls for our community. It is important that you remember that some of us cast the same ballots that we granted you that very seat you are sitting in tonight. I am here to tell you that your proposed resolution is a slap in the face to all of us. These actions are causing great harm to us, the people who call this home. This city council has done more harm than good to the Porterville gay community, And I am so outraged that you are trying to take away something that means more to us than any of you sitting up there could possibly know. And this is my own, these are my own thoughts. I am here to speak for those who've been silenced. I'm here to speak for my students who are getting kicked out of their homes and bullied for being exactly who they are. I'm here for my friends and my family members who are part of the LGBTQ community and who do amazing things every day for our fellow humans. But most of all, I am here to represent love, diversity, and justice. City council members, look at us. Look at all of us in here. We are your constituents, and we will not be silenced. Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
My name is Timothy Rich, and I moved to Porterville in 1980, and I was raised here. I left the state for many years, and when I came back to California, I was asked if I was moving back to Porterville, and I said, not on your life. The town is full of bigots. And I didn't come back. I moved to Visalia. And whether you rescind the proclamation or not, the attention has been brought to this issue that needs to be on it. I honor the mayor for having the courage to come forward and make the proclamation. And I ask the rest of the city council members to recognize that the attention that has been brought to this is the most important thing that could ever happen. Whether you rescind it or not, the attention has been brought. A conversation has begun. We are children of this community. We are parents in this community. Our grandparents, our aunts, our uncles, we are your neighbors. And we're not going away. The council needs to recognize that whatever decision is made regarding this proclamation, people will know. People are watching Porterville right now. And the vast majority of people watching Porterville right now are looking to see you do the fair and equitable thing, to leave the proclamation in place, to recognize that giving a proclamation and taking it away is worse than never having given it at all. So I urge the council, when the decision is made, to stand on the side of fairness, stand on the right side of history. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, please.
Hi, my name is Kelly Peter. I request to have the items 17 and 18 pulled from the consent calendar for discussion. I was here for the proclamation to be given to the LGBT community on the 4th. And after leaving this room, I was both saddened as well as disgusted by the way that the people in this town conducted themselves. But later that night, I was sent a message from someone, due to lack of acceptance from her family, had to stay in the closet. She said that she wanted to thank me for doing something that she always wanted to do, which was stand up for the LGBTQ community. And to do what she was right. In the message, she said she secretly felt like a second-class citizen in her own home because her parents thought that what she really wasn't normal. Never in my life have I ever been ashamed of being from this town. But on that day, I absolutely was. I was ashamed of how people conducted themselves and how you, man, were treated. By not only the people in the audience here, but as well as your fellow council members. Taking away Pride Month is both unfair as well as ridiculous. The mayor signed that proclamation to bring unity to this town, not to separate us. There has to be change. That's what everyone was fighting for in the 50s and 60s during the civil rights movement, and that's what we're fighting for now. Why set us back 60 years? Instead of separating us and spouting off wrong statistics, calling people pedophiles and abominations and perverts, open your heart to do what God asks. Love thy neighbor. I don't remember reading in any Bible where it says to hate people and be mean, but I do remember reading that man will not be the one that judges what is holy. That's what God is supposed to be there for. So in this, I'm only going to say, these people could be your daughters, your sons, your sisters, and your brothers. Would you really want your family to be treated this way? Because I don't think you would, because I know I wouldn't.
Thank you. Next, please.
Thank you, Mayor. My name is John Coffey, and I've lived in Porterville my entire life, so that's almost 67 years. First, I hope that items 17 and 18 will be pulled from the consent part of the agenda and then defeated. Regarding item 17, the system now in place has been used since about 1926 without problems until 2 weeks ago when a proclamation, and that's in quotes, was requested that recognized the efforts of a disfavored minority within our city's population. Then, as my father would say, quote, all hell broke loose, close quote. The system is not broken. Please don't try to fix it until it is. Regarding item number 18, please do not rescind the quote-unquote proclamation that was issued 2 weeks ago. As you know, but some may not, a quote-unquote proclamation has about as much power as telling somebody, quote, keep up the good work or job well done, close quote. A resolution, on the other hand, must be voted on by the, quote, governing body issuing it and stays in effect until it expires, usually by being accomplished or being repealed. This council has a history for at least the last 5 years for passing or attempting to pass anti-LGBTQ resolutions, and interestingly enough, they have been pushed by the same person. If the council is truly interested in the population of Porterville coming together as a strong, united, diverse community, driving a huge wedge deep into its heart is not the way to do it. When a vote is called for, defeat both of these extremely divisive items. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, please.
Mayor Garola, council members, my name is Carrie Richards and I'm a Porterville resident. I did not grow up here. And oddly enough, every time I tell people where I moved from or where I grew up and then I came here, I receive the, well, why? Why did you come to Porterville? And that must be very discouraging, not only to public leadership who hope to foster commerce and so on, but for those who live here and want to have a sense of, if you will, pride in where they come from. I am here today to present to you a letter of support from out of town. They're here for the city manager, if you will. But also we were told to speak from our heart. And I wanted to say, if you do not choose to remove items 17 and 18 from the consent calendar, I look forward to meeting the fellow council members and the mayor on the turf of discussing that very issue. I have begun a survey of, well, I guess I should probably start with my credentials. I have a bachelor's in political science and a master's in public administration. And I've begun a survey of all of the towns that are plus or minus 20,000 in our population and how they conduct themselves regarding proclamations and how that approval process proceeds. You'll be very disappointed to know that with 3 or 4 so far that I've found, all of them are approved by the city manager and then given to the mayor for approval. It's no need for the other council members to give input, to take the picture, to sign the proclamation or any of that ceremony. It is solely an honor bestowed by the mayor. And I urge the mayor to stand strong, to remain brave, and continue her support for the entire community of Porterville and show that moving to Porterville, living in Porterville is something to be proud of, something to smile about, something to brag about, if you will, because it's no longer the town where the KKK marched down the street, or so I've heard. We have evolved and we have been educated, and Mayor Garola is the manifestation of that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Jordan Todd. I've lived here my whole life, and I want to let it be known that I am a heterosexual female. And when I was 15, I witnessed my good friends being made fun of for what they were, and I was too afraid to speak up then. I just want to make up for that now, and I'm going to read a letter from someone who couldn't be here tonight, and I agree wholeheartedly with what it says. Dear Mayor Garola, Vice Mayor McCracken, and council members Hamilton, Ward, and Shelton, I am writing to ask you to uphold and support the Porterville LGBT Pride Proclamation. While LGBT people do not need your support to be proud of who they are, nor to celebrate the beautiful diversity that the LGBT people bring to the human tapestry, Mayor Garola's Pride Proclamation is in alignment with our nation's growing inclusivity and celebration of a group of people who have been discriminated against. Numerous members of your community, gay and straight, young and old, of diverse ethnic and spiritual backgrounds, have worked hard to help Porterville become a city recognized for inclusivity and respect for human diversity, and rightly deserve the Mayor's Proclamation. These volunteers' efforts and Mayor Garola's proclamation should be applauded and not dismissed. Porterville can be a city that tolerates differences or one that respects and honors them. Rescinding this proclamation is like rescinding an olive branch offered to a historically shunned group. Rescinding this proclamation is a step backwards, and for all the LGBT people who face discrimination in your community, this proclamation is a beacon of acceptance and hope, and that they belong and are equal Porterville citizens. I hope you will support the LGBT Pride Proclamation and celebrate equality for all. And this is sincerely from Davina Polsky, a PhD psychologist, author, and an LGBT rights advocate. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Catherine DeMore. I'm a resident of Porterville, but have been through the public school system of Porterville my entire life. Mayor Garola, we've had our differences while you were at a different position at Porterville College, but I'm here today to say that I am very proud that you have made the proclamation that you have, and I hope you stay brave and keep the proclamation. The gay community, I have friends. I have a very close friend I consider as my brother. He has been kicked out of his home because of who he is. His mother has yet to actually tell his father that he is gay. And he has been fortunate to find someone that can live with him and be a companion with him. I have always been there for him. And by making this proclamation, it is just an awareness of that there are gay people in the community, there are straight people here in the community that support them. I am one of them. And by passing this proclamation, like I said, it's a visual to say, here's who we are. We have them every single month. We have it for Cinco de Mayo. We have it for May. We have it for Valentine's Day. We have all these celebrations of specific people, specific things. May is Huntington's Awareness Month. I have yet to see this town show any type of support for that. My family has that history. By rescinding this proclamation, you are killing an awareness that needs to be made and to be accepted. Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
Hi, my name is Lisa Duncan, and I am a resident of Porterville. Not everybody in this town is a Christian, and the Christian values that this town supposedly has is not showing the love that is supposed to be found in the Bible and found in God. I believe in God, and I believe that it's about love. And I haven't heard a whole lot of that today. I'm asking that you not take away the proclamation. Thank you for doing it in the first place. I'm a teacher in this town, and I have a lot of gay students. And by taking this away, you're telling them that they're not good enough and that they are not worthy. And that's just the first step of all of the teenage suicide that comes along with being gay. So please don't tell our students that they're not worth it, because they are.
Thank you. Next, please.
My name is Lisa Marie Smith, and I'm a lifelong resident of Porterville. I request to have items 17 and 18 pulled from the consent calendar for open discussion as they are not routine. I understand that you guys are discussing the regulations for proclamations, and that's fine. However, even if you change the regulations for proclamations, you cannot go back and ex post facto rescind a proclamation. The proclamation was done within the scope of the current rules. It is a waste of time to be discussing this tonight. I am a proud Christian, I'm a Sunday school teacher, and I don't understand why my 7-year-old students can grasp the concept of loving each other and treating each other as equals, while the rest of Porterville cannot. I can quote scripture with the rest of them. John 13:34, a new commandment I give to you, that you love one another. Just as I have loved you, you are also to love one another. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, please.
Jessica Mahoney, long resident of Porterville. I too request that 1718 be pulled from the consent calendar for public discussion because there are no routine items. For some people don't know, proclamations is not something the mayor developed or wrote. Citizens write proclamations every day. But individual staff, city staff, anybody can write proclamations. It's online. You can come and pick up the form here at City Hall. All the mayor does is sign it, and if so choose, the city council can also sign it with her. We do proclamations all the time. I've been coming to city councils for over 5 years now. We did proclamations to honor country bands, Iris Day, you name it, people, individual events, anything. I believe in the separation of church and state. It's just really disheartening, the last city council meeting, the things I heard. You think after 5 years I would be used to it because it's kind of a repeat. But the plain disrespect they had for a mayor, it's not right. For people that have their personal religious beliefs, you can have them, but when you represent and take oath of office, you raise your hand and you take that oath to uphold the Constitution for all people, regardless of what your personal religious beliefs are. You gotta realize we're here. We're not going nowhere. We work here. We're gonna be some of your children someday, like it or not, we're here. But the plain disregard of people can have their opinions, but they're not facts. They're your opinions. You can come up here and state, the sky's blue and someone's gonna say it's purple, It doesn't make no sense. If you read the city charter, the mayor has all ceremony issues and patriotic duties. The mayor has sole authority. Now, unless you want to change a city charter for something that's not really city business per se, that has no legal standing, it's just silly. It's silly. If you know and you come to city council meetings, not just for these big shows, but if you show up and be involved in the civic part of the city council, you'll realize proclamations are done kind of before the meeting actually gets started, before any city business really happens. So I just suggest people we're real proud on this literacy program. Let's read a little bit. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, please.
My name is Regina Soto, and I am a Porterville resident. I have been my whole life.
Can you put the mic up just a little?
Raise your mic just a little bit.
Thank you.
I request that items 17 and 18 be pulled from the calendar for public discussion, and it's not routine. I'll start by thanking you, Madam Mayor, for taking the first step and having the courage to do something about having equal rights. Change is never easy. The unknown is scary, but as a woman of God, you made the decision based on what is right and equal, and simply because you care. You've seen the suffering, it is real. It happens every day. No living being deserves that. I am a survivor of sexual abuse, and I can tell you that all 3 of my abusers were heterosexual. And for anyone to imply that sexual abuse is a result of homosexuality is completely false, embarrassing, and beyond ridiculous. Straight Americans need an education of heart and soul. They must understand, to begin with, how it can feel to spend years denying your own deepest truths, to sit silently through classes, meals, church services, while people you love toss off remarks that brutalize your soul. War, rape, murder, poverty, famine, civil and equal rights for all are worldwide issues and national issues as well. But are we really more concerned about who I love than what the real problems are? I am your daughter. I am your sister. I am your friend, an aunt, and a cousin. I am human. It sincerely blows my mind that strangers, people who know nothing of me or who I am and what I stand for, willingly inflict such hate and prejudice onto humans simply because they are different. Yes, I am different, but I am different because my Creator has made it so. Americans seem to forget no single person in this country besides Native Americans were Native. Innocent Native American women, men, and children were slaughtered, and then their land was claimed. Murder, rape, torture, theft are what this land was built on. That is hypocrisy. We are what we build. We as a country can be great. I will pray for all of those that when we meet, our God does not punish you for not knowing better. Love is love. God is nothing but love. Stop disguising the message of hate with our God. It is simple. He created me. If He wanted me to be someone else, He would have done so. In fact, this moment here, it is part of His plan. I was here to let you know that He loves me. He loves me because not only does it say it in the Bible, but He has saved me Himself. Our paths have collided because He has willed it.
Time's expired.
Thank you. We have about 5 more minutes, and so the next.
Hi, my name is Teresa Carpenter. I am from Porterville. That's a sister. I wanted to rescind 17 and 18. That's as far as I remember. I'm just a mom. I'm straight. There are people here that I love and are very close to. And this is horrible, rescinding. And it's not so much because of them. I have a son who has CP and has he's filled with God. And I have another son who grows his hair long to donate it to cancer patients. And because he does this, other children call him gay. They have actually threatened to jump my son, and he's not gay. And I have to explain to him where does this ignorance come from? And this comes from somewhere. A child is not born hateful. It is taught. It comes from somewhere. And making this proclamation go through, it does mean more to someone like me too. I don't have to be gay for it to mean a lot. I just have to love somebody who's gay and love my child enough to want him to be the best person he can. And he is an awesome child.